Howdy y'all, it's Aaron here. In this episode, I'm going to share with you how to make your first $5,000 month. Stick around until the end where I'm going to share with you 2 numbers you must know to consistently hit those $5,000 months. Alright, so number 1 is to work backwards from the goal. If your goal is to hit your first $5,000 month, then you need to do simple math. How much are your products? Then average them out and divide by 5,000. Your average order value is $50. So 50 divided by 5,000, we need to make 100 sales. This is how many sales that you need every single month. I like to break it down even by week and then by day. So 25 per week divided by 7, you need basically 3.5, let's call it 4 sales per day, every single day, for you to hit your $5,000 month if you have a $50 average order value. All right, so let's assume that you have a 1% conversion rate, which is about average. Some people get to 2%, some amazing stores get to 3%, but let's assume you have a 1% conversion rate. How many of those people do you need to get to your site to get those sales? So you need to get 100 people to your site at a 1% conversion rate, which is, okay, so basically you need 10,000 people to get to your site to convert at a 1% and an average order value of $50 to hit your goal of $5,000. Now, the number one question becomes, how do you actually drive that traffic? You can do that through paid ads, paid search, content creation, influencers, partnerships. The possibilities here are really endless. You need to determine what is going to be best for your business. And now what I will say is, if you improve these numbers, right, and we're going to talk about these a little bit later, if you improve these numbers, then the amount of traffic you need to send actually decreases. The amount of orders that you need actually decreases if you can increase your average order value and if you can increase your conversion rate, which, like I said, we will talk about a little bit later. All right, guys, before we cover number 2, I just want to say howdy. My name is Aaron. I'm one of the co-founders here at Bit Branding. We're an e-commerce growth agency that specializes in helping clothing stores grow and scale profitably online. All right, so make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out any of the latest strategies for clothing stores, including this video that's gonna drop on Thursday where Christian's talking about how to drive organic traffic to your clothing store. All right, so number 2 is less is more. So clothing stores need a variety of clothes to make their customers keep coming back for more. Instead of trying to have a ton of one-of-ones, try to have less items, but drop the clothes in a collection and then make sure that you buy deep. Because one of the issues I actually see a lot is that clients, customers, people we work with, they don't buy deep enough. So they don't have enough in everybody's size. So having a ton of variety and one-of-ones makes sense sometimes, but if you don't have it in the potential customer size, right? Somebody's getting ready to shop, it's gonna almost be impossible to get them to come back and try it again. If they find something that they love, it's not in their size, they're going on to somebody else. They're gonna buy something from somebody else. All right, so let me sum this up for you. Less products, more frequently, buy deeper. All right, so number 2 is to collect more email addresses. This is the opportunity for you to get customers to come back again and again. This increases the lifetime value. So we've seen that customers who have email addresses and email their clients at least 2 to 3 times per week, along with their automation, have a much higher average order value, a much higher customer return rate, and a much higher lifetime value. So if you're just trying to hit your first $5,000 per month, make sure that you have a tool like Sumo installed, collecting email addresses. Make sure that you have automations set up to make sure that you can continuously get in front of those customers, and make sure that you are in front of them in their inbox several times throughout the week. So if you are interested in the automations that we use, which right now the running tally is around 15 to 16 different automations, just comment the word automation down below and we'll send over all the automations that we currently use internally for all of our clients. All right, so number 3, probably the most exciting one, at least for me, is to set up paid advertising. You have to be able to drive traffic, and the fastest way that I know how to do it is to buy it. So paid advertising is a surefire way to get more people to your site, but the important part is sending the right people. So it's all about the setup here, and let me show you what I mean by jumping inside of Ads Manager. All right, so now that you're in Ads Manager, I want to go over here to the campaigns. This campaign is set up for testing, and it's the only campaign I'm going to build for you right now, but it's the most important one that you need, right? So you can actually scale. This campaign is actually perfect for scaling. You can take this to thousands of dollars per day for the campaign, but I think the most important part here is the creative testing that you're going to need to do, right? So all of these things for paid advertising don't mean anything if you don't have an ad that resonates with your audience. So the more specific that you can get for the type of content that you create, instead of saying like new arrivals, but actually talk about whether it's winter, whether it's athleisure, whatever that may be. If you have a specific name or a line that you're getting ready to promote, the more specific you can be and the content that's more specific to it will be more effective for your ads. So let me just show you the setup, right? So this is set up as a CBO or campaign budget optimization. It is set up for purchase. I would not do anything else outside of a purchase. So you want to train Facebook to go out and get purchases. Even if you can't afford to get a purchase right now, it eventually will learn, right? So if you can, I would run a purchase campaign and you just run it for a long period of time. Don't turn off the campaign, just continue to update it. So the longer that it can run, you're going to beat out other people. If you've ran ads before, you probably have turned off your campaign after a couple of days. If you haven't ever ran ads before, it's going to be tempting for you to, after you don't get any results, to turn it off after like 72 hours. I would not do that. Another reason to not do that is because Facebook doesn't have as much data as what it did in 2020 because of the new iOS update. And so it does take longer for it to get results and really for results to be shown inside of Ads Manager. There is a solution out there we'll talk about later in this video, but right now, for this intensive purposes, you need to let it run for a longer period of time. All right, so an important part here, the attribution window. I do want to explain this because we had several comments on YouTube about this, right? In one day of clicking or viewing, somebody is going to take action, right? So if it's a purchase that's less than, I would say, $500, likely somebody has been searching online, will find the product and make a purchasing decision within a day. If it doesn't, then you have a much bigger problem. We care about people who are going to make a purchase within one day, most of the time for clothing. I've never met somebody who thought about buying a clothing item after Facebook showed them the ad and they didn't make that decision, right? If they're going to buy it, they're going to buy it. It doesn't need to be dragged out. And we're teaching Facebook to show the ad to people who are likely to make a decision within one day, because you want sales a little bit quicker as well. It's not a long buying cycle. All right, so as we're going through here, we are focused on age, gender, and location. The only thing I would change here is that we know that the 65 plus is probably not where we'd go. 25 to probably 45, 55 is this particular audience, so I would make that change. Manual placements, we just stay away from audience network. You can put it in there if you'd like. We haven't seen as many good results with it, but completely up to you on that. All right, that's all you want to do there. Then the ad that you, very important part. Make sure that you click this button right here that turns on dynamic creative. What that will do is it gives you 10 different options of content, 5 different options of headlines, and 5 different options of primary text. Combination of around 250 different ads. Facebook's going to do all the work for you. And the best part is that your account will be active for purchases. A lot of times you run into an issue where Facebook doesn't have the confidence to get purchases, so you go learning limited. This avoids that situation. All right, so as we go through here, I just want you to know that this is actually new, the website creative source. So don't know too much about that yet, but maybe we'll do something short. I think this may be for like if you pull an image off of the internet or something. So we have 5 of 10 running right now. We have 5 more items slotted to go into this later this week. We have 3 videos, 2 collection style videos, 1 TikTok video, a lifestyle photo, and a graphic. What we like to have is a little bit more graphics and honestly testing a few more TikTok videos, which we're going to slot in later. The other thing here, right, is that this is going for new arrivals. We are moving away from this new arrivals focus, mostly because it's not like the content and copy can't be as specific. So when you're creating these headlines, come up with several variations. This has 3. These are actually already winning headlines. We've narrowed them down. And then primary text, we've narrowed down to 3. You can have 5 each. And I would say when you are first starting out to use all 5 for each of them, because it's just more combinations of a chance for you to figure out what actually works. So let me show you right here how you can figure out what is quote unquote working. So you go back outside of the campaign and go to dynamic creative, breakdown by image, and then we can see very quickly here that most of the sales are actually coming from about 2 different options here. This is the graphic, and this is the TikTok. This is driving most of the sales. 600 of our 1,500 is coming from there. It's actually pretty well distributed. We have $400 that's spent here. Actually, all of these are generating some actual sales. The only real weak link is this new arrivals video, which I'm assuming at this point is probably because the products are either out of stock or not. Make sure that you do have a system set up to check stock. Other than that, everything's making 2 to 3 times their money, which if after we're acquiring new customers, we will gladly spend $1 to make 2 or make 3, especially knowing our lifetime value. So that's how I would set this up. The most important piece, like I said, is just let this run for a long period of time. And when I say a long period of time, I'm talking 90 days, 180 days, at a budget that you are comfortable with, right? This could be $25 a day, but just let it run for a long period of time. It's going to drive traffic to your website. It's going to drive the right people to your website, and the right people are going to sign up for your email address, and that's where you can generate sales as well. Before I show you the 2 most important numbers to hit consistent sales, I want to tell you about our free masterclass training for clothing stores that will walk you through the 5 pillars that you must have in place for your online store to scale consistently and profitably no matter what is happening in the world. So if you want that training, make sure that you check out the link in the description down below. All right, so number 4 is AOV and LTV. And if you watch any of our videos, you know we talk about this quite a bit, and we've even talked about it in this video earlier, but how do we increase the average order value? How do we increase the lifetime value, right? It costs no more money to have the same person who would have spent $50 spend $65. So tools that we use, right, that you should write down right now. Number 1, one-click upsell. This will help you with a pre-sale, a post-sale, an upsell, and a downsell. This will basically give an offer to somebody to increase that average order value at a click of a button. Literally, it's called one-click upsell. They click a button, it adds to their cart, or if it's a post-purchase, they click it and it already charges their card as well. It's literally no friction at all to make an additional part of that sale. So one-click upsell, check that out. Number 2 is Sumo. So Sumo increases the likelihood that somebody will make a purchase because it helps with abandoned cart, but it also helps with increasing the average order value as well. So one-click upsell offers things as you're getting ready to make a purchase and will tell you about these amazing deals, but Sumo will tell you, hey, you're so close away from getting this next offer, whether it's a free gift, whether it's free shipping, whatever that may be, and it only comes on the screen once you've added things to your cart, and then like I said, it helps you from abandoning your cart as well. So Sumo and one-click upsell, make sure that you're checking those out. From our example above, we know how many people we need to get to the site, right? We know we needed to get 10,000 people to the site. We know our average order value was $50. Well, what happens if we increase our average order value from 50 to 65? So instead of 50 divided by 5,000, and we needed 100 customers, just by changing it to 65, we go down to basically 75. I think it's 76, but 75 people. So we 25 less customers to hit $5,000 by just increasing the average order value $15. All right, so getting better at your average order value and your lifetime value, this is something you will learn over the course of time and will continue to get better at, but do not neglect this step because as I just shown you, you need 25 less customers to get to 5,000 if you just increase the average order value. All right, so a perfect transition from AOV is to LTV. So LTV is lifetime value. Did you know it is actually true that if someone buys more the first time, they're more likely to buy from you again? Right? So if somebody spends $50, they're likely to come back, but if they spend $65 and they enjoy the product, right? If you deliver an amazing customer experience and deliver on that product, you're gonna get them to come back and actually purchase more often, and they're much more likely to make that purchase by spending more, which makes no sense, right? That's a win-win situation, but it's absolutely true. So what is LTV? So LTV is the total amount of money that someone will spend over their lifetime with you. But what I like to do is break it down by 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. And if we can get people to buy more frequently during those windows, we can easily increase the total lifetime value. Before, we had to do this whole process manual, and some numbers were super hard to get, like the average time between someone's first and second purchase. With Triple Whale, some new software that we found, they will show us exactly when this is, and now this allows us to take that next step and send an email or text message reminder at a very specific time. So for example, if their current window was, if they purchased on the day one and then took 15 or 20 days to make their second purchase, how do we scoot that back from even 3 or 4 days. With Ripple Whale, they'll show us exactly when this is, when people made the first purchase and second purchase, and that allows us to set up an email and text message reminder, even specific ads to get those customers to come back sooner. Now, the sooner that we can get someone to come back and buy a second time, the better. If they buy once, it could be a fluke, but if they buy twice, they're consistent. And if they buy 3 times, we have a trend and a potential lifetime customer. So if you get nothing else out of this video, make sure that you set up a way to drive traffic. Make sure that you find a way to increase your average order value and the lifetime value of your customer, and that will start to compound. And over the next couple of months, you will start to hit your first $5,000 month. And the best part is everything that I told you here compounds on each other so that you can start to hit $5, $10, $15, $100,000 months. All of that is possible. So, all right, I'm wishing you all nothing but success. And right now, if you're one of those people who wants to know what's working right now with Facebook ads, make sure to watch this video next. And that's all we have for this week. So you guys have an awesome rest of your day.